Welcome to Rolling Deep. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for all those updates. Last session, our players from Poseidon's Ribcage have managed to nearly ascend our Wingdom Spine. It's very interesting, I believe. You guys have taken the path of 2 million steps. You guys have conquered it. There's been several challenges along the way. We ended last session with you guys making camp nearly about an hour's march away from what we consider and what you guys, the map has told you guys as the peak of this mountain. The path there at this point is, very barely visible, so we'll deal with that when we get there. However, you guys went to bed very exhausted, very kind of like almost traumatized by the past couple events, which you guys should definitely go watch. They're very interesting, the points leading up to here. We left off, you guys weren't having the greatest of dreams. Muck had his own anxiety as he was pacing around, swirling. I need you guys all to roll me a Constitution saving throw, because you guys' tent is very, just not totally prepared for this environment. You guys are kind of battling the cold, even though you guys are covered up. You have your gear and such inside your tent. What was your guys' rolls here?
18.
16.
Can I add up my inspiration? 4.
Sure.
5. Wait, what did you
Anything below a 10, and you guys have a level.
Thank God.
Anything below a 10, you guys have a level of exhaustion, which means you roll disadvantage on all ability checks.
11.
All right, barely make it. You guys managed to curl yourself up in a ball or do some, butt-to-butt sort of cuddling. You guys were very, very warm throughout the night. However, Jean and Summer tried to cuddle up and get the same warmth transfer. Didn't work. Both ended up cold. Koyori and Muck, she managed to gather him, and she's feeling great as well. Throughout the night, though, through the rustling, Koyori has kind of scooted over closer to get some Ani, and in between the nights, you hear her say, "Get some Ani. I want to go home.
Well,
I'm tired. I'm scared."
Well, adventures can be very scary. I'm tired too. You want to piggyback the rest of the adventure?
Will you roll a persuasion check for me?
19.
She says, I'm going to follow you. And she kind of cuddles up. Muck jumps kind of like on top of you guys, providing you a little bit extra warmth as well. And you guys drift throughout the night. Morning comes. Please, somebody roll me a d6.
1. I should have known.
Awesome. So you guys step out. Lucius is going to step out first of the tent you guys have to see like your little ashes of your fire, which at this point has been completely erased. As you step out, it's very windy. Your visibility as you look towards the top of the mountain is dimmed as you see large clouds and storms kind of brewing up. But as you look over the Bastionwood Forest, you see light shining, and this storm has not yet hit the rest of the world. This is coming sort of from like the Brackenmill side, where they're just dead, or they're having like issues with their farming and such like that. However, Odysseus does a big stretch. How's he feeling?
No, not too great. Didn't have that rest, good night of sleep. Chilling.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys all kind of wake up or whatever. What's the party thinking about right now?
Well, I wake up, kind of adjust my pants, and then I look to the rest of the crew. I'm like, did you guys have a weird dream last night?
Yeah. I dreamed that I could never see the shiny, pretty things that I love ever again.
Oof.
I barely slept at all.
Koyori says me either, as she stares dead towards the forest.
Koyori, what
You
are
okay?
you looking at?
You okay, Koyori?
All I saw was fire, pain. You see Muck kind of like look up when she says pain, or fire at first, but then pain. You see he's even kind of bewildered. She says, "Our family was burning,
Oh.
burning."
Did it seem like it had already happened, or was going to happen, like premonition style, or? Because I feel like they're pretty safe at home.
Roll me something. Roll me an insight check.
I turn to Odysseus. I say,
10.
this girl's not right.
You look at Koyori and you think that based on kind of like what she kind of like brought up to you in the middle, you think that she's just kind of a scared little girl. She's kind of freaked out. She's not having great dreams. She did something that grown men fail to do at this point: scale a mountain.
Yeah.
So you think probably stress is compounding and such. How old are you?
I don't know.
Take your age and subtract 4.
Alright, so she's like 14 or 15 or some shit.
I had more like 13 in my head,
13,
but like
okay.
yeah, sounds about right.
Alright. Hey Bruno, do you know how to conjure portals yet? What about you, Summer? Do you know how to conjure? Oh.
I don't even know what a portal is.
Like how you came into the world. You were somewhere else, and then all of a sudden you were here. I kind of want to figure out if we can send Koyori home. She looks tired. What do you think, Koyori?
She kind of looks down the same path that we came, and she says, "Are we gonna have to walk back down?"
Uh-huh.
She goes back to just kind of staring back at Bastionwood Forest, where you know that your parents would be dwelling. You know, she's kind of like keying in on a little spot.
Oh wait, we can see our home from here?
Well, you know the general area, you know, so you probably know like where, based on landmarks and such, where like kind of where they'd be dwelling.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
Can I bribe a harpy or two to like scoop them up by their arms and fly them home? Is that a possibility?
This is your game world.
Can that happen? What would it take to bribe a harpy, and how do I find a harpy and talk to them? Can they understand me?
I'm sure your party members have some enlightening ideas.
Guys, I want to talk to a harpy and send my sister home.
They almost killed us with rocks.
Okay, that's a bad idea. Maybe not.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Alright, so I'm gonna like rub my eyes and just take my map out and like try and figure out where we are and how much farther we have to go because it's kind of foggy out. I can't really see, so
Cool.
I want to just kind of try to wake up and figure out how far we have to go because I'm just exhausted. So let's see what we have to do today.
Yeah, roll me a survival check, would you?
Okay.
No.
It's only a 4.
With a 4, Jean takes out her map that she got when she first left Poseidon's Ribcage before she realizes this is just a general world map. It doesn't have the details necessary to climb this mountain.
No.
So she kind of looks down and already pulled it out and had just kind of continued to scribble and look important while the party continues to talk.
So,
Koyori looks at Jean and
Useless.
says, "So where are we going?"
That way I think.
so Odysseus is just kind of sitting here, and I'm just watching. I'm like, all right, I'm getting kind of bored, so I pick up Koyori, I'll put her on my shoulders, and say, "Let's go."
Whoa!
Alright.
Walking
All
out
right.
the door.
Let's go!
Can someone put me in a pouch? I'm tired.
Put you in my bear
Ouch.
pouch, and then Summer also gains some of my bodily warmth.
I'm gonna pull out my map. I'm like, okay.
You got a
We
better
only-
map?
we only- we only got like 12,000 more steps. We just did almost 2 million. This ain't gonna be hard.
That's a lot of steps. Let's go.
Let's get to it.
Let's go.
Awesome. Roll me a survival check, Mr. Bruinor.
Just him?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a 22.
Oh,
Hey.
lovely. Bruinor looks at his map. He realizes there's not much detail when it comes to the top. This is not very well versed. So he decides to take his pencil out and actually fill in the missing details as you guys ascend even further. Bruinor's able to kind of like, with the wind blowing so much, you know, the snow isn't sticking as hard as it is, so the rocks are kind of jutting out. You see the path that is larger than normal as you guys kind of, larger and more sporadic, you know, which you see like large rocks that you guys like are open and can see. As you guys kind of make your way on this very promiscuous path.
Why is it not charted? And is my danger sense going up?
It's charted in a general sense. Bruinor, being the educated dwarf that he is
Rocks.
deciding to add additional information to the map.
Got it.
Yeah, I was
He's a good guy.
Get any of those.
I
So with a pencil behind his ear, he leads the way. Bruenor is walking forward. You guys kind of all fall in line as you guys start walking up. To kind of like refresh, you guys are kind of reaching or attempting to go find Scarret. Acronis said that he is the god that kind of presides over the Bastionwood Forest. He's the one that you guys should ideally pray to in order to revive the river that feeds the luscious forest. As you guys kind of walk and you peer, you see the storm that's above you guys kind of like more envelop you, as well as start spreading towards the rest of the world. You guys kind of look out. Can you guys roll me a quick perception check?
Yeah, how cold is it here?
The wind is very whipping. I'm going to say it's roughly 0 degrees. You guys are not freezing. However, I'm fairly sure you guys' rations are fairly low. Very
I got a
low at this
21.
point. 21 perception.
17.
10.
3, 10.
What were we rolling?
Perception.
Perceptions.
Your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Jean as
So
Bruenor.
I'm like, ooh, it's kind of cold up here.
11.
I want to put on like a wind layer or something.
Absolutely, your bare patches that where your skin has been just like singed off and burned and scarred from battle. You kind of put on like an extra little layer. You're feeling a little bit better after your shitty night's sleep.
Guys,
At least I'm warm.
do we have an offering for this Scarret god person? Why would he help us if we don't offer him anything? What do we give him?
Corey looks down and says, "We can offer him muck."
No!
What?
And then she like blows a raspberry at Muck, and you can see that he just kind of mouths off. But Gina, she's carrying her map like it was important, following Bruenor second behind. But it's actually really helpful for recognizing certain landmarks. And you kind of peer over and you see the large, circular sort of land masses of the world of Puva, and you kind of look and you can see shapes and outlines of, from this point of view, just these massive land masses. You can actually see where you think Poseidon's ribcage would be.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just way up in the corner. You have a great vantage point of the world as you guys ascend higher and higher. The sun is shining from the one side, however, it is starting to get darker and dimmer as you guys are approaching, kind of turning the other direction.
Is it morning?
Yes,
As I'm looking at the
the
map,
storm is moving in.
as I'm looking at the map, can I be like, hey, get some money. What is the name of your town again? I want to see it. Where we're.
I believe you came from a place called Shrubdogan.
Shrubdogan, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then can I like kind of find it on the map and like maybe kind of try to orient myself and tell her where it is? Is Koyori near us? Are you guys near us?
She's on his shoulders.
Ludicius is behind you, carrying Koyori in the middle.
Is she only like 1.5 feet tall since she's still a child, basically?
You're like 2.5 feet. Then I think she's like 2 feet.
Cool.
She's pretty small.
Yeah.
I don't know, one shoulder, we're chilling.
Like a toddler.
She's swaying. You guys see she has like a slight smile on her face, feeling a little bit better.
Muck, are you doing okay?
Muck is kind of like having a hard time, because he's like he's a dirty boy and he's really clean at this point, and you can tell he keeps trying to like dig in little snow patches, and there's no dirt for him to like dig up anything, no worms or anything. So you see he's kind of frustrated, a little anxious.
I have produce flame just kind of going this whole time. Keep me warm, whoever's maybe next to me.
Very smart, and it also kind of helps you to see, as at this point you guys are sending about roughly a half hour on your hour-long journey. You guys are getting to the point where your breaths are very faint, very thin. It's very deep to try to get as much oxygen as possible through each of these. Is Ludicius a fan of the cold?
Nope.
The
No, he's not.
The Isle of Todd is very contemperate, so this is taking him out of his element.
I bought some gear, so this is doing all right. I'm just chilling back here. Hasn't gotten super cold yet, so we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Where are we at in relation to the top now?
Well, at this point, I'm gonna say that you guys, you guys are definitely approaching the very cusp at this point. You see that there's like a 10-foot, pretty steep outcrop that you guys are gonna have to climb real quick.
Okay.
However, you guys are definitely reaching the top of it sort of spirals. However, you guys stop towards one sort of face there.
Can I, if we need to climb up that, can I take javelins. I have 4 of them, and go and like throw them into the wall to create a type of like American Ninja Warrior type of up.
Yeah, sure.
All right. What do I have to roll for that?
Athletics check.
That is a 24.
24.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getsamani rips out her javelins from her sack. You know, just like shink. She goes up, and instead of taking the like defined sort of rocky footpath, she decides, no, I'm gonna be a badass.
Oh, there's a footpath?
And stabs into the sort of upcrop of ice and snow, hurling herself up, trying to exert even more calories. I'm gonna say.
No, that's not what I wanted to do. You're narrating
You're-
poorly on this.
Just going, trying your hardest to get up this like 10, 15 foot outcrop while the rest of your party steps.
I
walks
thought
up
you
your
said there
way.
was no steps.
Yeah, you reach the top. You're very like sweaty, and you think that your sweat is actually turning like very cold very fast as you stand there.
Oh no.
I kind of want to make you roll a con saving throw just to be funny, but we're good.
This isn't what I wanted.
Oof. Will you guys please roll me a perception check as you guys get to the top? Immediately, you guys are though gonna be in the middle of this storm. Ice and hail whip around as you guys are like ever so randomly, hit with little tiny like specks of ice that are being just whipped around this mountaintop. Gray is fairly much all you can see towards the side of the mountains you guys are facing because that's where the storm is coming at you. Behind you guys, you can see just the rolling of your clouds as they're sending their way down the other side of the mountain towards the forest and such. What are your guys'
Guys.
rolls?
I rolled
16.
16.
17.
17. Jean tucked her ears in and she's unable to hear anything. However, through the roars of the wind up top, you guys hear sort of like a neighing of sorts. Someone please roll me an Arcana check. Summer, you can roll with advantage.
Everybody or someone?
Sure, everybody.
18.
15.
15. Did you roll twice?
Mhm.
Oh damn! All right.
Yeah.
A 19. So Bruno and Jean, even though Jean doesn't really hear what's going on, she senses a really.
I kind of know where I am in the landscape.
You can really basically only see your party members because
Yeah.
you're small and kind of in behind. However, Bruenor knows this cry from sort of training of sorts. I'm gonna say he recognizes it as a unicorn, someone in distress.
Do I have an idea where it is?
Yes, you think it's roughly like 60 feet, like ahead of you.
Okay.
But it's probably like a little distorted because of the wind.
Okay. I'm like, I say to the party, that was a unicorn. We need to help it. And I kind of charge ahead.
We follow
Towards it.
because he's got flame.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
What do we know about unicorns?
They're pretty.
Roll a history check.
That's what I
Or
know.
a nature check, animal handling.
I know they're pretty and they have shiny horns.
Should I do that too?
All I know is
19.
we both have horns.
A 19? Oh, wow. Jean has dealt with unicorns. She knows that their horns and their tails go for very expensive on the black market because they're very rare. They are used as kind of magnets and magical transformations and such. However, they also know that they're also almost on that extinct level. You don't see them very often. It doesn't come across like anyone's plains very often. They used to be much more rampant. With the 19, I give you that. They used to kind of roam the plains. During the last sort of evolution of like cycle of life, you guys are probably on like third or fourth of Kuva at this point. You guys can figure that out later.
Are they magical?
Yes, they are very. They have.
What kind of magic can they do?
That's a very good question that I don't have a great answer for you. I feel like you had to roll like a 22
Okay.
or higher to kind of be able to pick that apart. You know that these are magical creatures.
Does anybody else know more about magic?
I got a mod 20.
I said 22. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So basically the same. You have that same sort of knowledge.
Yeah.
What can I add
Okay.
to it? Or
Intelligent.
Yeah, intelligence. Are you smart?
or magic.
14. Yeah. Rough.
Can unicorns take healing potions the same way other folk can?
Is it universal?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's heal
Universal
it. Maybe
potion.
you'll
I want to
like
find
us.
its. I want to see its horn because I want to see how pretty it is. Here we go.
As you guys are
Sparkly.
rushing, you know, at this point to a sprint, you guys are kind of trudging. The snow's a little bit heavier here, you know, from dunes and such. So it's kind of like at your guys's, well, Ludicius's knees, your guys' probably waist as you guys are trudging through. However, it's very light, very airy. You guys managed to get there. And the very first thing that like Brunor sees through the whipping of the wind and the ice is the flick of a very blonde tail. And you see just a white ass as you know it leads down as the hooves are sunk into the snow.
Okay, I'm gonna say, are you okay? In common.
You're just gonna say it in common, then
Yeah.
you're gonna like scream it, or you're just gonna say it normally.
Scream.
Okay, so if you scream, "Are you okay?" You hear it. However, you don't think it's from the beast in front of you. Let's.
Spooky.
The first beat, the one in front of you, kind of, he does like a mini rear before kind of like turning around. You can't hear the clop of his hooves because you know it's snow. But you turn around and you see just a black eye, kind of stare, give you a little side view. You see a horn, very large, larger than most, which you would assume. And you kind of like see past him as he like does the shift. I want you to roll me another perception, but it's not going to affect a whole lot.
Okay.
You roll it.
Not one.
And that one, you look past and you see nothing but the whipping of the wind and ice.
Has my danger sense gone off?
Can I cast Fury Fire?
Probably. What's that?
I want to cast Fury Fire since it should be right in front of me, right?
Yeah.
And then that'll get me a good view.
Sure. Can you tell me exactly what that does?
It is a 20 square foot area. It highlights individuals into space and makes it extremely visible for me and my party.
Awesome. You cast it, I'm guessing, like right in front of this guy?
Yeah, where I see these whatever
Awesome.
figure.
A lash of colorful lights emit from Brunor's spell as he casts it. You guys see this one in front of you very clearly now, everybody who's kind of caught up and isn't standing directly behind. However, illuminated, you see two more unicorns. One with their front paws extended. You see butt kind of like really high in the air, and you hear another.
Oh no! What did we just walk in on?
Why are there so many here? I've never seen one in the wild
Are we
before. I've only heard
intruding
about
in
them.
systems?
You
They're
guys
almost
hear a couple
extinct.
other in response to the ones in what you guys assumed was distress. However, you don't, kind of looking at it, you don't think it is necessarily hurting or in pain, and your Arcana checks didn't, reveal any negative energy. You guys are kind of noticing that a couple other horns are shining through the veil of the ice and such, as you think and piece together there's about 5 or 6 different unicorns here.
Did we just walk in on an orgy?
The other ones are all standing up,
Okay.
not doing much, however, just kind of observing the one who seems to be kind of like leaning back.
Can I do a
Is it
medicine
having
check?
a baby?
Roll me a medicine check.
Is their birth about to just...
Nat 20.
Ooh!
Nat
What is
20.
going on?
After getting the visual and hearing the cries, Brunor puts it together that this is a unicorn birth.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Almost-
I like that better.
Almost instantaneously, as Brunor clicks it, his eyes open, unable to tell the party before you guys start seeing a bit of mucus.
I wanna
a
help.
bit of slush. You want to walk over?
Slush?
Yep.
Please. Okay, so you walk
Baby
past.
juices
I just say, "I'm here to
probably
help."
sound slushy.
And I like,
The one in front of you turns his
forgot
body
there was
very
stuff.
abreast. You only stand up to roughly, the beginning of his neck as
Yeah.
he, this neck is kind of craned and staring at you very intently. I'm gonna say they understand common.
Yeah.
They actually do. However, they do not speak it.
do they speak any language?
They
Can you talk Spanish?
no,
Talk to me.
not let you know.
Okay, then I'm gonna cast Speak with Animal.
Ooh. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna say, do you need help with this? I am very good with medicine.
I've birthed human babies, halfling babies. Let me know. I need help.
I've got some wine.
Let me know.
He looks and says,
My child will be birthed naturally.
Oh.
Do you mean us any harm?
No, I only wish to help.
Then please observe. Maintain your distance.
okay. And you see him kind of like neigh again. You see this one seems to be a little bit larger than the other ones.
Okay.
Neigh in response. This one it seems to be less like supportive and more like I have to respond sort of thing. And as he kind of blocks your path, you guys witness a miracle of life as this one unicorn leans just a little bit further down in their stance, and you guys see first one hoof, white, faint, matches the snow almost identically. As you kind of clops out, all gangly and awkward, very thin. You see legs sprout out like a spider as you kind of plops. You guys aren't able to hear the plop because it's so cold. However, immediately, this baby shivers and shines and sheams, and it emits such a radiant light that kind of like creates a little bit of bubble of just solid light, as you guys see very clearly as it was brought into this world. You think that it has very, very thin, wispy hair compared to the rest of the unicorns, and just no stub at all.
I start crying because it's just so beautiful. Just tears stream and turn to instant icicles.
Honestly,
Or
me
like-
too. Gets in my beard.
I'm just getting hit by teardrops in her pocket.
After
Ice
the
cubes.
Yeah, is it raining?
after the unicorn kind of exits the other unicorn, the first one stands up and starts like pawing out sort of little caveat of this kind of snow, and you see the other smaller unicorn, baby unicorn, kind of like walk over, and you see him kind of shake again, and then start pawing at the ground. And as soon as he starts pawing at the ground, or they start pawing at the ground, the one in front of you lets out a even more powerful neigh, just you know.
I'm gonna do one too.
And they start trotting, not even trotting, straight sprinting in a circle as they surround and create a sort of pathway, if you may, like a circular pathway around this birthing ceremony. What did you guys roll on perceptions?
I don't know. That was a while ago.
6,
I
17.
mod 20,
17.
I think.
I think I was 17?
I had 5th.
What about Koyori's roll?
It was either 16 or mod 20.
She rolled like a 16, so
I did both of those.
okay,
Could roll
interesting,
again.
interesting. From behind, you guys hear,
Beautiful, isn't it?
as you turn, you guys have to look and then look up as sitting on a giant outcrop is something that none of you have experienced. However, Gitsamani knows immediately what this beast is. As you see, his skin is very pale blue. He stands roughly 60 feet tall.
60 feet?
60 feet tall.
Oh.
He has leather straps, however, much exposed skin. Rings wrapped in leather adorn his wrists and his neck. You see his nose is very large. Takes up a majority of his face as this giant is observing, watching.
You said I know who this is?
You know of giants. You've
Oh,
heard
it's
many
just a
fables
giant.
and stories from your time, your childhood. You know.
He's pretty
So
giant.
this is very awe-inspiring. This is very much childhood and fantasy brought to life for Koyori and Gitsamani as their eyes are just wide as the moon.
Do I know why he's in this particular location?
Roll me a history check.
That guy
I turn and
is
say-
giant.
Good gods.
I'm probably the size of his toe.
Less than that.
16.
With a 16, Gitsamani. Yeah, Koyori doesn't remember the details, but Gitsamani knows that giants in a past millennia and a past lifetime roam the hilltops and were essentially the master race of Puva. However, over time, hunting them for sport became, what humans did during the revolution, and they were sort of outs to go higher and higher into the mountains before you had assumed they were all extinct.
Can I ask him what he's doing here? Or like why he's watching the birth and just
He kind of leans in before you can say anything, and he says, "Are you guys proud of my herd?"
yes, your herd is beautiful.
So
this
pretty.
is one of the most beautiful things I've seen in my entire life, and he notices all of my icicle tears on my face.
He says, "Thank you. For hundreds of years, we've been raising them from a family of 2.
Sweet.
Is that incestuous?
Unicorns are not extinct, my friend. His hand is roughly 7 feet across. This is just very large, and as he's motioning. As he exhales, you guys see so much steam and hot air. This is roughly like the body mass of you guys exiting his mouth each time.
Does it warm us?
If you're close enough to his mouth, maybe.
Well, he leaned down.
Yeah, he's talking to you guys, but yeah, it's not like hitting you. But he says, unicorns aren't extinct, they're just hard to find. I spend my time relocating, rehabilitating these gorgeous animals.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Where do they normally live? Do they like to live in the snow?
He says, places like this is where most of them have been driven to. Humans and such, as he motions to Ludicius, have pushed us all to extreme lengths.
This one's a good human, as he's still carrying Koyori on his shoulder.
He waves and says, "I carry no hard burdens. I admit, fighting with other giants is very fun. I understand. If we truly were able to stand up to you humans, I would not be the last of my kind.
You're the last of your kind?
I look and I look, however, this is where I've been relegated. I walk winged spine, every decade or so, in search, however, the signs of life and living giants are nowhere to be found.
Is there anywhere else in the world they may live that I know from fairy tales and folklore?
You know that giants were all over the place. You think that definitely, like, Isle of Tot had some, Corvix Reaching had their own bit, there's definitely stories of just giants ruling everything. He says, my tribe for thousands of years have lived in these mountains, and I intend to do the same.
Question for the giant. Can you, asking the giant, can you procreate with any other species?
He kind of looks down, and he says, if it fits. And he says, what brings you guys up here all the way? I haven't seen anyone like you guys in... What year is it?
Question to the DM.
I was just
Oh,
bored.
yeah.
How does time work in Puva?
In Puva, they started, from when last time, Puva was built up, that's when they consider, time, normal time, and it's
So
been
we're in the
rough.
4th generation. How long is that?
It's been roughly 400 years.
Okay.
Pretty new, we're fresh.
I tell the giant it is 400 years PP post Puva.
Been hundreds of years since I've last seen humans and beast folk together.
We adventure here to help find a cure for the Fae. But the energy is dwindling and something's wrong. I think I had a premonition last night that all the gray stuff that I point to the gray side of the mountain is going to encompass the whole world, and we want to prevent that.
As you're talking, he stands up and starts walking over to his herd. As they are slowing down their laps, you're explaining your concern about the Fae. He reaches down, kneels, and runs a finger roughly the size of the unicorn across the baby unicorn, stroking it lightly as you see this unicorn kind of like lean into the rough texture of his fingers, very dry, so it feels nice, good, getting those scratches. And he says, "The Fae leave me alone. We have nothing in common."
Have you noticed any changes over the past few hundred years? Or any shifts in Fae energy even though they do leave you alone?
Still petting the one, he also starts to stroke with the back of his hand the mother, who's much larger, who's standing there and just kind of breathing, just feeling herself. But he says, "I'm not the one you are seeking for the help of Fae."
No, you are not. We seek someone else.
Do you know where the Great Scarret is?
Scarret. Ha 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 ha. He stands up and starts rubbing his face. He actually has like this really scraggly beard. It's not very thick at all. He says, "Oh wow, I have not heard of that ruler in hundreds of years. Really, his conquests were so brutal and vicious, but
Conquests?
yes, Scarret took over this land. Those trees," as he motions over to the trees that are now starting, of the Bashman forest, that are now starting to kind of be shadowed over by the storm that's leaving. He says, "Those trees were not there at the beginning of your little human civilization. Scarret ruled these plains. He was very brutal, but efficient as a ruler.
In doing what? Growing trees?
Unifying the tribes. Everyone was very bitter. These humans would come after me, all wearing different insignias and materials.
So
Not me, I apologize. My clan here. However, Scarret's notoriety has reached us all."
Does that mean he stopped the humans from fighting you guys? Or I don't understand. This gets my head up.
He's still pretty patient. Yeah, he says, he kind of looks at the rest of the party. He says, "Scarret died, hundreds of years ago. However, with that much love and dedication, those many people supporting one's ambitions carries over into the afterlife. That power that he had during his mortal reign pales in comparison to what he does to control the growth of the forest that he protects now."
How do we reach him in the afterlife?
I'm one for the living.
Is he not a god then?
He says, he leans back and says, "Well, what is a god?"
One whom people praise.
Oh, powerful.
Well, he protects the forests from the afterlife, so he still has connection and protection. Worth the praise.
Scarret's actions were worth praise. Many ferocious beasts that did nothing but cause harm and terror to your clan fell to Scarret's conquests. Overall, my opinion of him is fairly neutral. But if you're trying to communicate with him, this would be the place. As he says that, Summer, will you roll me a religion check?
Do I still need to roll with disadvantage?
Yeah. You're tired.
Can I give her? I'm gonna cast a spell.
11.
Oh, okay. As you're sitting there listening to this giant kind of go on, you're hearing kind of tunes out. As the conversation proceeded, your hearing kind of went to just like that slow TV static whine where it's just like as it kind of mimics the wind before you hear hello.
Hello?
You look behind you. Nothing.
I look in my pocket.
Should
What
we
are you
wait?
doing?
I'm hearing things.
Okay, I'll let you listen. I just ignore her.
You hear, you've come so far, little one.
Is this who we've been seeking?
You kind of feel a pull behind you as you're enticed to leave the pocket and search for this attraction.
Do you want me to go with you?
Yeah, can I get some money on
I'll
this
just follow
adventure?
blindly.
Silence.
Did the man just leave?
I just hear his
Do we notice?
You guys don't hear anything.
Okay.
I'll just respond to your tugs and just go.
Yeah, what does Summer do?
I'm gonna ask him where I should go. And just get some money, I have a good feeling, and just point her in a weird direction without telling her what we're going for.
Okay.
As you ask, where should I go? Your vision is dimmed as you are given literally tunnel vision as everything around you is enveloped in not this white, wintry sort of flurry that you guys have been experiencing, but a dark sort of tunneling path as you are guided to this rock that, just a specific rock about 20 feet away. So you leave, you are pulling her with you. As you approach it, you see, through the midst of the icy wind, an outcropping, very thin cylinder, before you see a nice curve. As you see an axe plunge deep into this rock. You see only about one half of this blade is plunged in. However, this is what's been calling to you. You feel a beating pulse from it.
From the rock?
Yes.
Um,
You guys are still chatting with the giants. However, as these two kind of like dipped away.
Can I go up to the rock and get an insight check on it?
Yes, please do.
I'm just staring at the axe like this close to my face.
So I'm gonna talk to the giant. Be like, hey man, I bet you've had a rough day. You want some wine?
So sad.
He says, wine.
Disadvantage.
Wine. I haven't had wine in... When did humans start killing us?
What? A couple hundred years ago.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah, it's
indulge,
on the
my
bottom.
friend. Today is a day for celebrating.
Okay.
To a healthy herd.
What's better?
To friendship.
He has to like minusculely kind of like blink as you handed him
I
a
hope
bottle
you
of
have enough
wine.
bottles for him.
I got a couple of 100 pounds. We can make something work. You feel anything?
No.
It's
So
probably a
then-
drop.
It's a little sensation burning on my tongue.
I grab 10 more bottles. You just, work them down. Come on, I'll see if you'll drink 'em, Want some more, man? I know you're a big guy, so I got some more here for you to enjoy.
He says, absolutely. I haven't celebrated with other common-speaking folk in centuries. And he takes your bottles all kind of like one by one in his fingers and throws them back.
I like it.
He says, ah ha ha, that hit the throat.
I'm gonna give him my Brawler's bourbon.
Ooh.
I'd be like, if you want something a little spicier, try this.
He takes it a little suspicious and says, travelers come find a random giant and you
treat him so nicely. Do you have an end game?
I say, well, you've told us many things, and you don't seem like a bad guy. And I drink my portion of the Brawler's Brew.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
With advantage.
That one was pretty good.
Okay.
17.
At 17, he says, "Guess I have no reason to find your intentions insidious." He takes your little Brawler's Brew and pops it back before he kind of sits down into the snow next to you guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Shake it up.
Snow like splashes on you guys. And what was Summer's insight check?
10.
With a 10, you think that this is... Yeah, you definitely think that this is a relic of some sort.
Do I know anything from my folklore things?
Probably not.
Do I know anything about the steel that's used to make the blade since it's so beautiful? And I know a lot of things about axes and stuff.
No.
Dang.
Sorry.
It's worth a
Is
shot.
she able to grab the axe out of it?
I think I'm able to wing.
You can definitely try.
I would like to try.
Awesome. Roll me a strength check.
Alright. That is a 19.
Cool. Explain to me what your process is and if you say anything.
I would like to walk up to the axe and tell it that I would like to have a greater connection with its owner in the afterlife, and I would like to do so by holding it and picking it up. Basically asking the axe for consent to pick it up.
You reach, you grip this battle axe, which is roughly the size of yours that you carry around with you. You grip it. The angle is very awkward, as you can tell. Like a taller person had dived it in.
Can I like grab it like this and
Oh,
try
sure.
to like yank it twice?
Awesome. As you grab it, your hands touch it. You feel warmth. A very happy, grateful sort of warmth. You feel like the warmth with a little bit of chill of fall as you are grabbing onto this blade. You try your mightiest and you rip. And similar to when you try to push the boulder, you feel your muscles tighten in your back. You don't completely pull it out. However, you don't fucking think this thing is moving. You grip it. Summer, as you grip it, you see flashes of Fae, like sort of like a interaction between the Fae and the mortal plane kind of happen as she's like grabbing and touching. Only on the spots where her skin is making contact does it. You see like little mists of kind of like gaseous form of just sort of like that purple sort of Fae kind of leave her hands as she's trying to yank it.
As I'm seeing this, I'm also speaking it out loud to her so she knows what's happening.
Can I? Should I hug it?
Do we see this yet?
Do you guys?
You guys are so far away
we're
from
about
us.
I
20
thought we were
feet
kind of
apart.
far away.
Yeah, you're
Can we walk over?
Yeah, you can walk over.
Yeah, I'll walk over and
Get
kind of
curious.
check out what they're doing.
I want to hang on it like a sloth and give it a big hug, like arms and legs wrapped around it since it's at that weird angle.
Yeah, so you like jump up and then you kind of you're fully like body in. And this time you're like feeling the whole warmth over your whole body. This time Summer thinks that Gitsamani is essentially like glowing, acting as a sort of like antenna. However, none of you guys see anything out of the.
Can I call Koyori over if they're close enough?
Yeah.
Koyori, come here. You have to see this or feel this.
She says,
Come here.
"Okay." You know, staring at this giant super sus. She just kind of like does a sidestepping, and you see her run over there. However, Muck is hanging out with Bruno and Ludicius still. She runs over and says, "Oh, that kind of looks like your axe."
Yeah. Come hug it.
Okay.
And she like hugs it, so we're both like hanging on it like a sloth, and
Yeah.
just like giving it our good feeling, so it knows we're not trying
She
to
says,
hurt.
"Oh, this feels good."
I look at Get Some Money, and I'm just in awe of how shiny she is, but I also say, should we ask the giant about this?
Yeah. Maybe he can pull it. Well, do we need to pull it out?
We can just get background information.
I can live with that.
We got the giant from.
Summer here is whipping.
Aside.
Summer
we
here
know
is
the-
whipping past her ears. Get your friends off my axe.
Do you know this giant's name?
Get some money, Koyori,
You guys
get
didn't
it
ask.
off.
Okay, and we let go.
And you let go as you guys both land at the same time. You guys are kind of thrown on your butts a little bit from like a sort of like existential force, just kind of like shoves you down a little bit.
Can I shout, "Thank you for sharing the warm"? I don't know who I'm shouting to, but something was giving me warm, so I shout thank you.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Sorry.
You guys all hear a booming, "You're welcome."
What was that?
Everyone else here
The
this
giant
time?
turns and says, "You have some loud friends."
I look up to him, clink wine bottles. You hear that too?
Who? I don't know whose voice that was.
Did we hear the booming voice?
Yeah, you guys all heard a booming, "You're welcome."
That's the voice I was hearing before while I was in your pocket.
I'm gonna
Who
say.
is it?
No idea.
Who was that? The booming voice to the giant. Do you know?
The giant kind of looks and says, "Isn't it the one with the axe?"
No.
No.
I guess I don't know.
No.
I never heard her talk like that.
He says,
Can we start yelling for them to come over?
"Yeah." You yell, motion for your group to come.
Mr. Giant, come too.
Did you guys hear the voices? Or the voice?
The giant stays amused with his herd.
Fair enough.
I'm also staying back with the giant.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, we're chatting.
Yes, you guys would do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can
Did you say this is like Fey energy coming off of it? Do I recognize that?
Because it's the purpley.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You are a champion of the queen. Yeah, why don't you roll me an Arcana check?
Am I still glowing purple? Like I don't see
After
it, but
you
like.
let go, no.
Oh.
Can I have them scream again and say, it's the reason why we're here?
Have me scream?
Yeah, to
14.
the...
Oh.
14 with the Arcana. You don't necessarily see anything. You don't really get a huge Fey vibe from this. Sorry.
Can I shout?
Does summer?
Yeah, Summer is actively witnessing
I'm
Fey
getting
interaction.
visions just popping up.
Okay.
I want to shout to this loud voice
Loving
wherever it is. Direct my voice to him or her and say, "Who are you? I know you're communicating with Summer here, but we can't see you, and I don't know if she can either. Can you tell us more?"
Roll a persuasion check.
That is a 17.
The whipping of the wind. Silence ringing as your request is unheard.
Can I-
Am I hearing anything now?
You hear nothing as well.
Can I offer something to said voice?
You can do whatever you want.
I would like to take my big emerald that's been sitting in my backpack and put it next to the axe and say, "A gift, and in return, we would like to speak with you, please." I found my offering.
Interesting. As soon as you set it down, you see the emerald not disappear. What you witness is this emerald completely swallow and eat itself as it eliminates itself from reality.
Did you guys just see that?
What?
Whoa.
What just happened?
As that emerald is kind of sucked in a reversal of the whipping wind rushing by her, the sides of her ears, Summer hears rushing wind inside. You know, like not going by, but just your vision turns from swirling white to swirling purple. As you are channeled, you are leaving the mortal plane. As you are shot, you guys notice Summer standing nearby, floating nearby. I'm assuming the rock outcrop, which I guess you guys aren't there. You guys are still.
Talking with the giant. Did we
Time to
get
try-
sucked in
Chill.
too?
Yeah.
You, Koyori, and Jean are not sucked in. However, you guys see that Summer doesn't disappear, as she is more morphed out of reality, leaving this plane.
Summer? Summer! Can she hear us in the other plane?
She all gone.
Rushing past, Summer, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really confused, but I feel like I might be leading in the right direction. Hopefully.
You hear clopping, here from one side to another side of your ear, ringing from all, 360 spatial directions. You open your eyes as you realize I can open my eyes again. In front of you, standing not in one still form, but in the form of constant wisps of air, you see the form, the shape, what seems to be a centaur, which you can assume is to be Scarret. Believing, coming from the top of his head, his skull, you see a large braid. You see it's, got several different loops as it goes down. His mane, goes from the top of his head all the way down as well. You think this was a very ornate centaur. His face, you aren't able to make out much detail. However, you're able to see the very confident, the very chiseled jaw, the very straightforward attitude as his posture, at least his upper half. You can't see colors of the skin and such. However, you're able to see that he's very muscular, very toned. He says, "The forest is in pain. Why do you waste your time seeking me instead of helping?"
We were told we can seek help from you and get an insight on what to do.
He said, "I had no insight when I was uniting all of the tribes below. The Bastionwood Plains were nothing before me. Why must you be inspired by others to make your own actions?"
We were told you could help Faye, and Faye is starting to disappear.
He says, "And why can you not? You wield the same Fey energy as I do." You see his hand. You see his hand motion, and you see, sparks fly off. In the mortal plane, you two, and Koyori, see, wow, spikes of light,
Whoa.
fire appears. You guys don't hear or see anything because you guys are
Is that fireworks?
the giant, which you guys are kind of broken down and talking to a little bit. His name is Ivan, is telling you stories of the time that him and his cousins had climbed trees and were trying to leap from treetop to treetop. Up on the hills, very reminiscent. You guys are growing very buddy with this guy.
I would like to ask, or I would like to explain how I was just born and how I can reach that energy myself.
As you were explaining your birth, you see he slams his fist down. He doesn't hit anything, however, you feel it like he slammed his fist on a table. And he says, "Enough! I witnessed it all. You do not need to rehash this story." He says, "I've saved this forest once. Why must I do it again? I continuously work myself to keep this Yuan-Ti at bay, and you cannot solve a little issue of water flow."
Just thinking to myself, man, this guy's an angry guy. Is there any way I can get you to connect with my other partners in the group and explain this to them as well?
He says, "I need not to communicate with everyone when I can communicate with the one that matters." He says, "Why do you not harness your power to solve your crises, but rely on mine?"
I don't know how to. I'm an infant.
Roll a persuasion check. No disadvantage.
Oh my gosh. Did you roll with an advantage because she's standing up to a scary guy?
No, she's just in a different plane where
Oh.
exhaustion of the physical body doesn't matter. That's how I'm
6.
running it. A 6? Okay, do you want to add an inspiration roll?
Yes, you do.
I don't have one.
Can I donate one of mine?
Sure, sure.
What
Take
do I
one
do
of mine.
for?
Roll a d6.
Roll a d6 and add it to your roll.
It's a square. Wow. Okay.
Add it to your roll.
Yeah, so it'd be
8.
Tried.
With an 8, you feel the space around you feels more enclosed as the sort of flow of matter and like Fae kind of is enveloping and creating a tunnel which is just containing you two, just talking. You see he becomes more animated as his arms start moving and says, your power is harnessed from all around you. You need not make a journey to see... Hold on, I'm sorry. You do not need a journey to seek the afterlife in order to accomplish your goals. Harness that around you, like so. And you see that his hand dwarfs you as you are just... The scales are very odd here. However, you feel him enwrap your hand and kind of guide you as he teaches you a couple hand motions and flows. And around you, you can see that the purple Fae, like smoke that's been enveloping you guys, responding to your touch as if you're able to move it as it's malleable. It's acting as a plasma as you just grab it and flow, grab it and flow, grab it and flow. As you guys' flow is now going from like one direction to circular as you are kind of like rolling and working. Will you please roll me an Arcana check?
15.
Oh, awesome. With a 15, he says, after what feels like eons, you don't know if it's been minutes or thousands of years of manipulating this matter, but it doesn't matter to you, Summer, as you are lost, you are enveloping, you're losing your physical and your material self, or I guess that's the same thing, and your,
Ethereal self?
yeah, let's do that, to the area around you. You close your eyes as you succumb and you feel, you don't witness everything, you become the area around you. As you flow with it, you feel a burst of pressure. You guys below here, and then one of the boulders from roughly a mile below, you guys see is shot far beyond Bastionwood's forest as it lands. What you guys know would be just kind of like an ocean.
Can I say, wow, whoever's playing hacky ball did a really good hit.
As it Summer, he says to you, you did not need me for this.
I'm just in shock right now that I could even do anything like this.
Speaking to you, however, not looking at you, you hear, where is your confidence?
Deep down in here.
He says, why does your confidence not summit itself?
I was just born and I'm a short fairy and someone tried to kill me right away.
Your size is not reflective of your true power.
Trying to make you evolve.
That's not how you make someone evolve.
He says, I know what's coming. Please help your friends. I came on strong. However, they are the real power behind your magic. Summer, you guys kind of hear... Well, Summer, you're just now intuited with black. You're back, however, you are freezing, and you realize you're inside something. All you see is black, you're very tight, you're close together, like this.
Am I in her pouch?
Roll me a perception check.
I don't think I put her in my pouch. I hope you're in my pouch.
11.
With an 11, all you see is black. You're like kind of going like this, and it feels a little warm. However, you just kind of start banging on it, and Gitsamani hears a little tick, 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 tick from the inside of the axe handle.
Oh. Can I go over and say hello?
You
To,
hear
like, close-
hello?
Get some money? Is that you?
Yeah. Where are you?
I don't know. All I see is black and I can't move.
Well, it sounds like you're inside of this thing. How'd you get in there?
I'm not sure. I was talking to the centaur. We were messing around with my magic and then whoosh.
Whoa.
Dark.
Does that mean you can do magic now?
Apparently I've been able to the entire time.
Sick. That means when I asked you earlier about a portal, you could totally do that.
As soon as you get me out of this axe.
Wait, but you can do magic now. Can you get out with a magic?
With a magic?
I don't know. Can I get out?
What are you gonna try to do?
I don't have anything in here that I can do.
Can she do magic without items? I don't know how magic works.
I just want to see what she comes up with, honestly.
Wait! You can do magic now. Can you make yourself as big as me?
I am gonna try to make myself a little larger and
Oh my gosh!
get out of this
Freak
axe.
Okay, roll me just a quick Arcana check.
Do I need disadvantage?
Yes.
King
You're back
Koyori
on
and I just start chanting summer, summer, summer.
Summer. Yeah, absolutely.
Only if it weren't for disadvantage.
Oh no.
What you
On
get?
the card. I got 10, but I ended up rolling a 20 if I would have been able to use it.
Awesome. So you want to enlarge yourself, correct?
Yes.
As you think, grow, 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 you kick, and from the kick you pop off like the little tiny little bit of metal handle. You just kind of like ricochet open as you are now exposed to the outside world. This axe is still lodged into this rock, which Bruno recognizes as deep heart obsidian.
Have I even seen the axe?
Oh, I guess you're not even there yet.
Nope.
You're still doing your own
Boys
thing.
don't care.
We're trying to chat.
While you guys are talking, Ivan says, "Let me see your weapons."
I pull out my scimitar.
What's a scimitar?
He kind of takes it in his hand and he says, "This is puny."
Look at me.
He says he kind of goes and he slices. He takes a little bit of damage, and just a little bit. He's like, "My food will not be able to be cut by this."
Okay. What do you eat?
Look, this is how we're going to do this. He gives it back to you, and he says, "One of your guys' items. Let's make it a little bit better, shall we?" You see, he kind of pulls like his strappy leather pants up a little bit, and he motions towards like his initial sitting rock, and you guys see that he has a little bit of like a table kind of set up, what seems to be a really rudimentary hammer, and just kind of like just random supplies that he takes with him traveling up and down Wingnum Spine. He's like, "I know my way around many weapons. I fought, defense, all this stuff. I can help make your weapons better."
I hardly use my weapon.
Okay.
He
Do
kind
you-
of
do
looks
you
and
know-
says, "What about the puny ones over there?"
I'm sure they'd love to have you fix some of their weapons.
One.
Do you know how to tame spirit beasts?
Does he?
You said he specializes in the world of the living.
Yeah, he definitely rolled low, and he says, "Whoa, what do you mean spirit beasts?"
So, quick question for the DM.
Yeah.
This behir in a bottle, what the heck is it? What type of beast is this?
This is a physical behir that is you've been. Your father has been working with artificers and such to kind of create a magic item that entraps beasts of large size in like a small, portable way, you know.
Do you know how to tame large beasts?
He says, anything smaller than me I can tame. Look at my beautiful herd.
Can you teach me?
Huh?
Can you teach me?
Absolutely. Come here. He leaves his bench and he's leading the way for Ludicius. You know, you just kind of walking his giant steps, just hopping behind. As he kind of goes over, he kneels by one of his unicorns, the large, the strong, which you assume to be the male, kind of like alpha of him. And he says, like this. And he kind of like moves it, pushes it to the side. You see it. It's manhandled, but the unicorn lets him kind of do it, and he like pushes it kind of sort of right in front of you, and he says, hand, like this. Like this. And you start stroking the magnificent unicorn, who's looking so stressed out, being touched by this random thing that he hasn't seen ever.
It's okay.
Very, very nice.
I think he likes you.
I think so too.
Nice.
He's a good boy.
You see it kind of, it does like a pawing into the snow, however, it doesn't hate it.
Okay.
Do you have proficiency in animal handling?
No.
I'm going to give you proficiency in animal handling.
Ooh.
Cool.
New skill, new skill.
As your time with the giant has been illuminating, as Ludicius kind of slows down and realizes, wow, treating things with care and a gentle nature can work. Weird.
Interesting. So strange.
So I can now tame large beasts. Is that like a thing, or like?
You are more proficient in it, that's for sure.
You can pet a
Yeah,
unicorn.
yeah.
It'll make it easier when you try.
Sure.
Makes sense.
You stroke, and then he says, my unicorn's hair falls off when I brush them. I made something very nice, and I think you might deserve it, my friend. Look at this. He walks back to his table, reaches into one of his backpacks that he has, which is so it's like 6 feet tall. You know, it's just not really a backpack; it's more just like one random sack. Anyways, he reaches in and pulls out a very thick braided neck, however, like sort of half shawl, a very shiny, shimmering unicorn hair. He goes and says, "It never gets dirty. Perfectly resilient."
That's
Grab it.
beautiful.
And admire it.
It's definitely really big on you. Yeah.
Wow. This is amazing. And I just swoosh it on my back like a cape. And I gotta like freaking tie it together like a sheet.
Yeah. It's just like a total, like you just have like your comforter around you, basically. Just completely shining and reflecting with near 100%
Nice.
light spectrum. The sun is just kind of like, what is hitting you is beaming directly off as you are now physically glowing.
I'm like, whoa, dude.
And then I'm just standing in front of Bruno like this.
He says, "You look like royalty."
What does it do?
Just shiny.
It looks
It's
really
beautiful
cool.
and
Really
can't
cool.
get dirty.
And it's not dirty.
Cool.
It's
I
just a cool
like
thing.
it.
Should definitely write that down so we don't forget that you have a gorgeous unicorn cape on, blanket.
I'm gonna ask Ivan. I'm gonna say, so, if not Faye, where does your power come from?
He says, "My power in here. Dum, dum, dum. I'm a giant as giant can be."
So you guys are just massive?
I don't think he's that insightful to know.
Probably does.
Yeah, he's just not smart enough to really kind of get where you're getting at.
Okay.
You know, you're like, well, what makes, like, how are you so magic? Like, what's so strong? And he's just like, I'm just big and strong. What? I'm
Yeah.
magic. He's like, duh.
Okay.
It's not like he can go ask anybody for answers.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, what does the party do?
Well,
We need to get back together. So.
Can we go back to us? Because we're still in the. She's still in the handle.
No, I just got out.
You
of
just
it.
got out.
She-
You're out.
But we're trying to get back to the group.
Yeah, you guys just want to
So-
go walk over and meet up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
Since you've been flying everywhere, can we practice walking?
Yeah.
Since you're kind of big now, I like hold her hand
Will
like
I
a
reach-
toddler.
Can I stand in
Well,
the
she's
snow?
not big. You're still small.
You're still like
Yeah.
Oh.
She's
You're
still
still
back to
tiny.
her original size.
Honestly,
Oh.
because of how small you are, though, it would be like holding a toddler's hand.
Yeah. I thought you had gotten kind of big, and I was excited.
Yeah, you're like 2.5 feet. She's like 6 inches tall. So yeah, kind of.
It's okay.
I'm like a little baby.
So
Yeah.
Ludissius and Brunor, you guys are now joined by Jean, Gitsamani, and Summer.
We're like, hey guys, check out his coat.
Whoa.
I just
Nice.
So shiny. It's beautiful.
You guys see Koyori's like cheeks get a little rosy, and she's like, "Wow, that looks really good on you."
You guys
I'm
would
gonna
not
stand
believe
behind
this
him and
happened.
story for him.
Yeah.
we're just waiting for you guys to come back.
You guys have been here for like a couple
That's
minutes.
so
just
cool.
waiting for us to find you.
Where have you guys gone?
We
Y'all
heard a
missed
big
out.
voice, and Summer went somewhere.
I went into a whole I left this world.
Whoa.
What'd you
And
take?
I-
Weird.
Well, when we called you guys over earlier, it was because we were hearing voices. Did you hear them?
I mean, we heard the boom.
You didn't
Like
hear
the
the "You're
welcome.
welcome"?
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah,
was
I
the
was
voice.
talking
We saw
to
some giant dealio fly in the air. Kind of cool.
Ivan wasn't worried about it, so we were like, alright.
I was talking to the centaur. The reason why we came here.
He
Oh.
goes, "I'm Ivan."
I wave. Do a little head nod.
He squints to barely see you.
Oh snap.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, he said that I have the same Fey energy that he has, and that I can help save the world.
Does that mean you're the new Scarret? Summer's the new Scarret, guys!
I just have a lot of energy that I can use from the earth, so I need to practice.
Did you fix the Fae?
No, I just found out I have magic. That's good.
Speaking of that, will you roll me an Arcana check?
Can I just like excitedly, just like with my axe above my head, just like woo woo woo?
Everybody start cheering. Muck starts doing circles around you as he's feeding off your energy, loving it.
8.
I look at Bruno. I'm like, let's
Rolling
go.
so
We
bad.
stand in front
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
the sun is
What was
stand
your
in
roll
front of
without
the city.
disadvantage?
Without disadvantage?
Yeah, what was the first one?
Well, it was 9, but I rolled a 5 and I have 3s.
Jeez.
So it would have been a 12.
Would have been 12.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go with that number.
Nice.
Sweet.
As you say, I need to practice with my magic. You kind of like go like you're in and out. You phase like real. Your vision phases in and out, and you're as you scan the horizon, you're able to see a couple quick different flashes of not what's coming, but what is happening. As you kind of view and you get a feel for the world, as you kind of like brought back, you're getting a rush of an inlet as you're able to kind of control these Fey currents or feel the Fey currents of this world, especially up at the very tippy top. You're able to just really get a feel of everything here, and I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of an information dump here. As you kind of look over, first view you kind of get of, and you get a feel for, is the Bastionwood Forest. You feel like what you have done with Scarret has been positive. You feel a flowing energy. You feel very good about that. You feel possibly like your mission has succeeded or your goal has been met. However, you're feeling very much pain and anguish, and you feel smoke and hot, fiery feelings coming from southern, like the southern focus of that towards what you would assume to be is Yakomst. Even further still, like kind of fanning in that general direction, coming from a large landmass, you feel a cracking and a separation and a divide forming. Even still, more beyond that, you feel disruption of not just fey energy, but magical energy, as you hear and you through miles and miles and miles the cracking of thunder and the boom and the weakening of spell casting. You also feel the desperation of drought and dryness, as well as you feel two beams of light, unholy and unnatural, one yellow and one red, coming from what you are looking straight out, what you know to be, which you know to be the other half of the world, mostly unexplored by your party.
Okay. I would like to just share all that information with my party and tell them what I'm feeling.
Absolutely.
So that they can understand the seriousness of the situation.
I'm like, so Scarrett gave you like crazy powers?
He told me I've had them all along. I just never knew.
Wow. You're the new Scarrett now.
As you do is
That's really
the wind
cool.
picks up as you guys see the clouds start moving faster and faster as they're encompassing the other half. You guys are probably now, even though it's like morning, it's dark. It's very hard to see. You guys are getting very cold. The temperature is now starting to drop. Ivan, who had sat down because of the buzz he's gathering, says, "So, how are you guys going to survive this?"
Survive what?
Motions towards the storm, which, as you guys peer out, seems to have no end.
Does this storm go forever, or is it just gonna be overnight?
It's
Do
kind
you
of been
know?
coming.
I asked him like he's a weather person, like he would know.
Koyori walks over to him and says, "I just want to go home." And he kind of leans down and looks at her and says, "Where is home?"
I point in the general direction, and I hope that his eyes can see. It's like there, kind of by the pond.
Huh. All right. And that's with you? He points at Muck, and Koyori goes, He stands up and says, "Okay." He scoops them and throws them off of the mountain, just real quick.
Oh my god!
You guys see Koyori and Muck spiral as Koyori stays in between, as Muck is caught, thrown off of the mountain towards the Bastionwood Forest.
Did he
Oh,
just
they
throw them
dead.
to
Are
home?
they okay?
Can he
they
aim for the
survive
pond?
He said, "You said to bring them home."
Can you see that they're okay? Like, can you look at them? Because I can't see them anymore. Did they
look
splat?
small.
Are they moving?
Yeah, he threw them.
Did you have some sort of cushion for them?
I think you might have just killed my sister.
This is why you don't give a giant wine.
So,
Did I do good?
do you see them move?
They went home.
Ivan, can you still see
Alive?
Can you, hey Summer, can you see if you feel any good energy from where the ship landed?
Summer feels the rush of her connected bond. She's bonded with Koyori and Muck at this point. She feels the rush of their energy as it's descending rapidly through the forest that you had just.
Can she help
Can you
them?
create some
Can
sort
I
of
somehow
demonstration?
like soften the blow and then come down with some wind or
Summer, not Ivan, is able to peel back the force and the air velocity that's rushing across them as you feel a hit and a rumble. However, you don't feel a splat.
I look at everyone. They're good. They're
Woohoo!
good.
Thanks, Ivan. You're super helpful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Summer.
I got you.
And he goes, "All right,
And I again go woo 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 with my axe.
are you next?"
No, we're staying.
"All right, where are you going?" And
No,
he picks you
no,
up.
no, no,
No?
no. Ground, please, right here.
He sets you down.
Thank you.
Could you throw us all at once?
Can we tie us with the ropes?
Yeah,
No,
can
we
we
were
To go
let
to,
them out, dude?
because we
Dude,
wanted to
this
go.
is our escape plan, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Where do we go next?
Don't we need to go to Combs for?
What
But-
about the water god?
Good water god.
We had to talk to the owl
Oh yeah,
water
where
god.
does the
Oh yeah.
stream start?
Um,
Is there like a pond that starts the stream that we could like? So let's go find this pond. I think. With
Pond?
What pond?
What pond? The
that
life spring
feeds
water?
that feeds the river.
Yo, you could put your endless water in there.
Whoa. But it's mine.
So we still gotta fix this Fae thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
What were you feeling over at your combs?
There was a lot of pain and anguish, and then the more south you went, it just feels like there's disruption and the world's just crumbling down.
Were
Is it
those-
from the Fae?
It's just been not the Fey magic is disappearing, but it's the whole world is falling apart, not just the Fey.
And it's starting at your combs.
Does Summer know the light thingy that happened in Poseidon's ribcage? To compare it
she
to?
wasn't born.
No,
I know
she's alone.
nothing.
Wait, so Scarrett was just like a conqueror?
What it sounded like from Ivan, yes, and he just had all the magic to take care of it and said, I have the same magic, so I don't need his help.
So
Sounded
he
like
just killed a lot of people.
And developed new worlds.
It sounded like he brought them together and kept the peace. And then he killed the
So
people
it was
that were
all a lie.
bad. What?
It was all a lie.
I think you need some more optimism in your life, buddy.
Ivan just told me. He's my friend.
Ivan's our friend too.
I talked
You're
to
my friend, and you're my friend.
Ivan!
And friends share wine?
I got you, buddy.
I don't know if he's
Yeah.
throwing us. You want
He
to give
takes
him
like
more
3
wine?
of them and then goes,
Wait, question for the DM. That gross beer bottle that I picked up in the ship, would Ivan think it's delicious?
didn't you drink that already?
I took a sip of it and I corked it.
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you try?
Hey Ivan, I picked up this weird beer. I didn't like it. Do you want to try it?
Sure.
If you don't like it, you can spit it out.
He
That's
grabs
okay.
it in between his little fingers and throws it back and says,
That's the middle.
burns just like the other stuff.
Do you like it? You don't have to like it. That's okay.
He says, it's fine.
It's what I have to offer. Sorry, we haven't been to my homeland in a while to get my homemade brews.
It's okay. I don't think you're my friend yet, though.
That's okay. I still like you.
Okay. Is he weirded out by that? No. He's like, okay. Alright.
I'm like, so Ivan, would you want to like travel with us? See a bit more of the world than this mountain?
He says, this mountain is my world. My herd is so important to me. Right, buddy. Slaps a unicorn. He says, I choose not to travel.
Okay, I respect it.
So as he slaps him, you know my buddy comes over to me, so I'm just sitting here petting him, calming him down. And then I look at y'all. So, alright. Let's try to figure this out, gang.
So are we
Do-
gonna go to the pond? Or
Where are we going to next? And then I want to just like
What
pull up my
about
map and
the
and
world
we
seed?
can all maybe look at my map.
Hey Ivan, do you know anything about world seeds? You're kinda old, but in a good way. Hopefully I don't offend him with my age comment.
He kind of looks at you a little cross, and you know, and he looks, and you can tell, like, from his eyes that he's just really confused at what you're saying.
Can I show him the world seed? Who has the world
I'm
seed?
pretty sure you guys left it with Acronis.
We
Never mind.
Don't
I don't want to show him the world seed because I can't.
What?
Didn't you, or do you still have
Pretty sure I took it.
it? You still have it then?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can show it to me.
Yeah. You know anything about that?
He looks and he kind of like sniffs it and says, "Do I eat?"
No. It grows
mean-
embodiments of life to fix things, and I don't think you should eat it because I think it would
Does it-
explode your tummy.
Does it smell good?
don't eat it. It'll make you feel bad and make you
Try
feel
it.
bad.
Why would you?
No! Bruinor, it's
Because
not
what
a
if
snack.
we plant it on the pond where the water needs to grow?
Okay. I do. I'm like, I get it over and I'm like, guys, this is a giant.
So?
He could destroy the world seed and the evil.
Don't we want the world seed to grow good things? Isn't that what it's for?
Scarret just killed a lot of people. We don't even know if he was a good guy.
Well, if Scarret,
He didn't even fix the Fae,
Acronis
it sounds like he kept the
betrayed
balance while
me.
he was alive.
but he's dead.
And he's trying to do it from the afterlife, but he's just dead.
He didn't fix the Fae.
You
Well, he
guys
didn't
also
break the
have
Fae.
me who has the same
She
energy
can
with
do
a
the
positive
thing.
outlook. I'm not trying to murder everyone.
So then
By
what
the way,
do you
Summer,
think
you
we
have
should
What do you
knowledge
wanna
of-
do?
Summer has knowledge that she feels like the issue was fixed with the water, though. Like, I know, like, it didn't fix the Fae necessarily, but
But we fixed the water.
yeah.
What?
That's what
Life
she knows. I
source.
don't think she's told anybody that,
Oh.
though.
Oh. So
Oh,
we
well,
don't
then
need
I'll
to fix
tell
the water?
everyone.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah,
so then,
we
yeah.
fixed our water.
So we don't have to go to the pond.
No.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I do agree that we should probably go towards the south or your Combs because of all the negativity coming from there.
So do we keep the seed or no?
Yeah, what about the seed?
We'll try to grow some positive magic from it.
Would it be better to plant it at your Combs or let the giant eat it, though?
If the giant eats it, then it's wasted. But if there's a possibility of positive energy, yeah.
So let's hold on to it.
I don't know.
I
What
say-
is it?
What?
I say, Ivan, try it out.
No!
What? Huh?
I toss him
Oh,
world
shit.
seed.
He grabs it. And he says, I told you, it smells like nothing.
It'll make you poop bad.
Why would I eat it?
You shouldn't eat it.
Then I don't want this.
Can I have
Whoa! And he throws it off the side of the mountain towards.
Summer, grab it in the air.
Someone roll me a D8 for a direction.
That's the diamond
That's not.
shape one?
You're not.
No, you're not
Summer.
rolling. A 5.
5.
Can I add anything to that?
In the direction of,
She already rolled it.
southeast. Over
Southeast to where?
just southeast. Past, in regards to the total world map.
She already
You guys
rolled
see
it.
the seed fly, what seems to be past the Bastionwood Forest,
Okay,
however,
good.
kind of lose sight of it as it disappears in the horizon.
Summer, can you feel it? It's going towards Yakomst. I guess we're going to
I
Yakomst,
feel like
guys.
that would probably be the best way to go then.
Follow the seed!
Alright, let's go.
Follow the seed.
I just chant my axe again. Let's go!
Anybody else got input?
So
Let's do
before
it.
we go to your Combs, though, guys, I think we should stop somewhere and get some more gear.
Like
before-
what?
Not sure.
What do you mean? Why do we need to stop then?
Okay. I mean,
What do you want to get?
you know,
Can you get
rations.
gear
You know,
in
your
Combs?
Combs right now.
Okay.
It seems like a terrible spot. The way my dad was telling me, they're losing a lot of supply coming out of there. So I don't know if we'll find anything when we get there.
So
I
we gotta
gotta-
get snacks and rations.
We need some food, and we need to make sure we have some gear to take care of this negative energy we're feeling.
Time to get my axe
Okay.
better. I'll get another axe.
Oh,
What if I
wait.
wield 2 axes?
Hey, Ivan. Remember when you wanted to fix that weapon?
You turn to say, "Hey, Ivan," and you look, and Ivan's laying back, just in the snow, completely sprawled out. He says, "Which one?"
I got an axe right here. Think you can work on it?
I show him my axe.
Axe. I can do an axe.
I pull open my bag of holding, crinkle one of my finer bottles of wine. Just, a little bit of incentive.
Thank you.
He says, "You are a good friend. You are a good friend." takes the little bottle in his fingers and then takes the axe in his hand and kind of walks over to his little base. You guys see he picks up a very large, kind of oddly shaped rock where he kind of like has like a grip for his palm, and it's kind of like rounded on the other side, and you see him lay it flat. You guys hear the clanking of your metal. You can kind of see it bend a little bit as his strength just like alters it, and you see sparks fly. This process goes on for what feels to be hours, but it's only about an hour as he hucks, as you guys are kind of like making small talk, huddling real close, trying to keep warm. You know, it's about -10 degrees as you guys are chilling.
That's cold.
I'm just sitting there. Fuck the thing.
You like the Fae.
This is stupid. Everything that I've learned is bogus.
Why? What do you mean?
This so-called god, Scarret, he just killed a bunch of people, and now we're supposed to protect his lands, what he developed?
Well,
That doesn't make any sense.
she said before.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
I think you might need a snack.
Are you drunk?
I'm so drunk.
Do you want some jerky?
Yes.
He's hangry.
You hear, I've got it! And you turn and you see that Ivan has a nice little cut on his hand, and you see some of his blood start rushing, and he says, "It's sharp now!" You see him kind of like twirl it in his fingers like a high schooler does a pen, and he gives it to you. And now your axe is going to be a... What was it before? Was it already upgraded?
No, it was just a basic great axe that
Consider-
was fixed on Poseidon's ribcage by Takashi.
Yeah.
Something. The gnome.
Taruchi.
Taruchi.
Yes, a very wise gnome. He embedded jewels that made it look prettier, however, or not, Taruchi did. Ivan, as you kind of handed your blade, you can see the axe is nearly a different color, and the blade, it is so crisply white compared to like the dull kind of gray of the rest of the blade. You know, you see it, this is a very sharp blade, so it's going to be just a +1 to sharpness, which means you add 1 to your attack roll and 1 to your damage roll every time you use your thing. He says, be very careful. If it's cutting me, it will for sure cut you.
Wow. I can decapitate my enemies with this.
Ha ha, yes! You can be my friend now.
I chant my axe again.
Absolutely. And he kind of like cheers, and then you see after all that hard work, he kind of wipes off his brow and drinks the little tiny bottle of wine.
Nice.
So what do you say, guys? Do we go to Pooh and get some more snacks and rations, and then go to Yukomst?
Wait, where did he throw Kaori?
To home. I think she
okay.
landed. You said she
Is she
landed
safe
good.
there?
She landed. She's alive.
She'll be fine. She wanted to go home anyway.
She'll figure
she was
it
kind
out.
of scared.
How
Okay.
far is it to your combs from Puma?
They're opposite ends of the world.
Oh.
What's
What's
closest to Combs that we could get something?
Yeah, what's southeast? We don't have the map.
I'll put the map
Yeah, we
Gene,
need
all of them.
map, please.
Gene says, here, look at my map.
Look at my map. Where are we?
We're on the top
So
of
we need to
Winged Up
go there.
Spine. Doo-doo-doo.
Could we go to?
Over here? Wait. Over here?
So Ivan goes on to say, so maintenance for the herd is the hardest part when
Or-
we're up this high in the mountains.
How do you do it?
He says, well,
And or bash and
a lot of the rock
That's where
will
the
wear down their
archers-
hoof already, but their hair is so fine
anything
and so
south
tough.
is getting.
He says, look,
Wait,
and he
can I
kind of
go
grabs
over here?
your
Cool.
cloak that you're wearing, Ludicius, and like
Yeah,
does a
we need to
couple
go
of
somewhere
these,
else first for food.
and it does it.
So we could stop and like bash.
Does that mean they need shoes made out of their hair?
When I go to
there's a
wash
Ribcage in
their
town.
hair, it's hard to
Or the
untangle.
Isle of Tops.
How do
and then
you
go
deal
down.
with that? And he kind of looks at you.
Okay.
Me?
Which, by the way, at this point, Ludicius and Bruno, you guys have some scruffage. You guys got a beard coming.
I've
in.
had a beard.
Sorry.
Yeah, I apologize. Yours is now like longer and getting scrawly.
Yeah.
We want to go there.
I
and
say,
the main
well,
south
I usually just
is where the
take
good energy
sharp
is.
rocks and, you know, that have been like split, and and I take them and I put them in my fingers, and I kind of do this, you know, so it really gets in there when it's tough, and just kind of.
There are many rocks around here.
You could
I should try it.
My mom taught me how to use my fingers. So I go like doop doop doop, and then I put it in a braid. I do a very quick, rough braid.
He holds his finger right next to like the unicorn's like mane, and it's like his whole. It's just like so large. He's like, I cannot
Felt the good energy here.
finger it.
But I put it in a braid so it doesn't get tangly. Because then when I do this, then I can just let it out and it
He can throw us.
doesn't do the thing.
What's
See?
that piece of paper?
It has the picture of the world on it.
It's a map.
Cool.
How you
Ivan is
feeling,
from-
Ivan?
We gotta hurry up before this guy passes out.
Feeling okay.
Have to drag him.
I haven't had alcohol in hundreds of years.
Are you still gonna be able to throw us?
Can we go to corkboard? Should we go to corkboard,
You want to
guys?
just throw us where
Is
that
that where
seed
you
went?
think?
Somewhere around there.
We need a supply before we go to the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can get you that direction.
Can I give Ivan's finger a big hug and say thank you?
Yeah, you lean in, you feel the roughness of his finger. It's kind of like long prairie grass, you know, just how like it's really rough
Oh.
against your face. You know, it's just you see it like his fingerprints are just large. You can see huge chunks of dirt and stuff in between.
I'm gonna pull out a rope and be like, alright guys, strap on.
Shoot.
Oh yeah.
Let's
We're
go.
tired.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
jump in the
Ivan.
pouch and ask the button to be closed.
I put this nice uniform garb in my bag of holding because it's a unicorn cloak.
Yeah. Hold on to that.
Yep.
Yeah. As you guys are tying yourselves all together, and he says, "Okay, one throw then."
One
Not-
big throw.
Not many, not
One
five.
big
All right.
throw.
We can make this will happen. All right. He kind of goes and
Gripping
takes the
onto
group
whoever
in his
close.
hand. You guys are just ever so slightly like too wide for him to get a full closed grip, but he takes you all and he says, "So that way." He points south of Bastionwood's forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southeast-ish.
Maybe a little bit that way, a little bit to southeast. I don't know what direction that is.
All right.
But yeah.
He looks as he's holding you and he says, "Thank you for being good friends."
We'll
We
see you
appreciate
again,
it.
Ivan.
See you soon.
Bye.
You too, Ivan.
Hope to see you again someday.
He reaches down and kisses all of you on the head at the same time. You guys are left with like a nice little like slime layer as the drunk giant kisses you guys. He says, "Good luck and good heavens!" Join us next week here on Rolling Deep. Thank you guys.
Cool.